There are few things more frustrating than wanting a position at your company. You're there, you're already doing a great job, they post a position that's great for you, and then they hire someone outside of the company to do that instead of you when you are there and qualified and interested. In today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do to handle that situation flawlessly. Let's go. Now, this is actually a really common thing that happens, and man, is that frustrating or what? But you have a few choices here. You can accept the reality and move forward in the most effective and successful way possible for your career, or you can move on. And they're both reasonable choices. And whatever you decide to do, it's got to be right for you. But it's important that you approach both of these a certain way. Now let's talk about if you decide you want to stay. Now the first thing you need to do here is one, make peace with it, right? You have to go, okay, this is what happened. What's done is done. Let's focus on the way forward. Let's focus on being effective in our current job, but let's also find out what happened here. So what I would do is I would actually request a meeting with a person who is the decision maker. And this can be whether you got a chance to interview or whether you didn't, right? But set some time aside and see if you can connect with them. And what you want to do here is be polite, but you want to ask them, all right, so this position was open. I was really interested in it, but I wasn't chosen to move forward. I wasn't chosen to interview, whatever the situation is for you specifically. And say, I totally understand that you probably have your reasons for it, but I would love to understand what I'm missing. What do I not have that prevents me from moving into that role? And you want to hear them out and understand their perspective. Is there some experience you don't have? Is it maybe you don't have the right temperament? Is there another reason? There's a lot of reasons why you might not have been chosen. This might just be someone they're aware of and they were able to bring into the organization and just felt they brought in a different perspective or a different skill set. But it's really important to understand why. If that is what happened, then it's great. Maybe the next time it is open, you'd be a great candidate. Now, it might be a little bit different. They might say, well, Ben, you're lacking blank. And this is really what we were hoping to see and what we need this person to do. Right there, that is an opportunity. What you need to do is go, okay, I totally understand that. Be accepting of the feedback they're giving you, and then ask them if you can be exposed to that stuff, whatever it is you're missing, be exposed to that experience. That way, when this opportunity comes up again, you are ready. Now, this is a few things. This lets them know that you are very reasonable about this, okay? You understand this is a business. You took it in a very good, positive, team-oriented way. Also a plus. But maybe most importantly, you are willing to do what you need to do to gain the experience in order to be qualified for this role. Certainly, they are looking for this out of the person who's going to move into that role next when it opens. If they're open to giving you that experience, so you can go into the training and development necessary to move in that position when that opens again, that's great. Pursue that. Be engaged, do a great job. And also in that conversation, you might want to say something along the lines of, hey, I appreciate this opportunity. And if there's anything I can do to help the person who's coming into this role get ramped up to speed on our specific processes, procedures, and the way we go about doing things, I am happy to help with their onboarding. Doing this is going to put you in the best possible decision to get the role the next time it's available. And while this might be frustrating, if you have made the decision to stay with this organization, this is absolutely what you need to do in order to, one, stay in good graces, two, position yourself for success moving forward. Now, let's say you've decided, you know what? I do not want to do that. I want to move on and go to a different company. Or you have this conversation and it goes poorly and they're not open to giving you that experience. So they're saying, no, we don't need to expose you to that. We think you're a good fit now. Now, if you hear that and you go, this isn't a place for me, what do you do now? Now, one of the things that's kind of adding insult to injury is most of the time, they're actually probably going to have you help this person. They'll say, hey, this person's starting. You have a lot of the experience that they can learn from. Could you help them? Even if you're going to leave, do it. You don't want to burn any bridges. It doesn't serve you to avoid helping them, make enemies, or come off as a bad employee. I know that is frustrating, but trust me, just do it. The next thing you need to remember is that it is easier to find a job when you have one. As a recruiter, I can tell you if someone is unemployed, hiring managers always ask about that when they interview. So being an employed candidate makes interviewing a bit easier for you. So even though you're frustrated, even though you may be mad at them, even though maybe you're more disenfranchised than ever, keep this job because this is about you. It's about getting the next job and it being easier to do so. So you can start your interview process immediately and you don't need to leave your current job. And another important thing, do not tell them Don't tell them that you are frustrated, you wanted that job, and now you are going to look elsewhere. Because they might accelerate that for you. They might say, oh, well, if that's the case, then feel free to leave. It might also just be more awkward for you. So stay, do a great job, be helpful, don't burn any bridges, but go ahead and pursue that opportunity. Now, one of the things that might help you in this situation is if you are networking effectively. But there is a huge mistake that most people make when it comes to networking. And that's why I want you to watch this video here. This video here uncovers the biggest single mistake that people make when it comes to networking. And trust me, if you find yourself in this situation, you're going to want to develop network. So watch this video over here so you understand exactly what you need to not do.